What if your blood work looked normal because of one small thing you did before the test? Your coffee, your supplements, your workout or hydration, or even the time of day can shift the numbers your provider uses to help interpret what's going on. And if you're a woman over 40 with fatigue, brain fog, thyroid symptoms, inflammation, or weight that just won't move, that one mistake can send you home with the same answer again. Your labs look normal. Hi, I'm Julie. I've been a registered nurse for over 33 years, and I've lived with autoimmune issues for 25 of those years. Today, I'm breaking down 7 blood test mistakes that can make your labs harder to interpret so you can walk into your next appointment prepared, confident, and less likely to miss the bigger picture. The first mistake, and this one is one that surprises most everyone, is biotin, that hair, skin, and nail supplement, that high dose B vitamin in your energy stack, even the gummy you barely think about. Biotin can interfere with certain lab tests that use biotin based technology, especially in some thyroid and hormone tests. And that can sometimes make results look different than what's actually happening in your body. So imagine a woman taking a beauty supplement for months. She's freezing, exhausted, losing hair, and feeling like her thyroid is still off. But then her labs come back looking fine or even a little overactive. And now the conversation goes into the wrong direction. That's why this matters. Before any thyroid, hormone, or cardiac related blood tests, ask your provider how long you should pause biotin. Many providers recommend stopping it for at least a couple of days and sometimes longer with higher doses. But don't guess, ask, and mention every supplement you take to your provider or the person drawing your blood, even the gummies, because supplements aren't the only thing that can move your numbers. Sometimes it's what you did that very morning. Number two, catches the women who are trying hardest to be healthy. Doing a hard workout the day of your blood draw or even the night before. Strenuous exercise can temporarily shift certain markers tied to muscle stress, inflammation, enzymes, blood sugar, and hydration. So, if you do a heavy strength workout, a long run, or a sweaty high intensity class right before your labs, your blood work may reflect your body recovering from that effort, not your usual baseline. And for an autoimmune woman already worried about inflammation, that can be confusing. So you're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to stay strong, move your body, and support your health. But if the timing is wrong, the lab may catch your body mid recovery instead of at rest. So before routine blood work, especially inflammation, liver enzymes, kidney markers, glucose, or muscle related labs are being checked, ask your provider if you should avoid intense exercise the day before and the morning of your draw. Most of the time, a gentle walk is a safer choice. Save the hard session for after the lab work. And the morning of your draw matters in another way too, right down to the hour you pick to go. Number three, can quietly undo good prep. Even if you do everything else right, getting your labs drawn at the right time of day. Your body is not the same at 8 in the morning as it is at 2 in the afternoon. Some hormones and markers follow a daily rhythm. TSH can vary throughout the day. Cortisol has a strong morning rhythm. Blood sugar, insulin, hydration, and stress chemistry can also shift depending on timing, sleep, food, caffeine, and activity. So, if you're trying to compare one lab result to another, timing matters. A thyroid result drawn early in the morning and another one drawn in the afternoon may not be a clean comparison. And for women already living in that borderline zone where symptoms are real but labs are not bad enough, that timing difference can matter. So, when you schedule thyroid, cortisol, fasting insulin, or other time sensitive labs, ask your provider what time they prefer. For many morning sensitive tests, earlier is often better, and consistency is key. Try to repeat labs around the same time of day when you can. That gives you and your provider a better pattern instead of random snapshots. And once your timing is locked in, it's worth protecting those results from one ordinary thing a lot of us do the night before. Number four is easy to miss because it feels harmless. Alcohol the night before. Even one or two drinks can affect certain lab values in some people, especially markers related to liver function, triglycerides, blood sugar, hydration, and sleep quality. And this can create a lot of unnecessary stress. A woman who rarely drinks and has a couple glasses of wine at dinner gets labs the next morning, and then suddenly her liver enzymes or triglycerides look a little off. Now she's worried. Her provider is worried, and the result may not even reflect her true baseline. That doesn't mean that one glass of wine ruins your labs. It just means that timing matters, especially when you're trying to get the clearest picture possible. So, before routine labs, especially if liver markers, blood sugar, insulin, triglycerides, cholesterol, or inflammation markers are being checked, ask your provider whether you should avoid alcohol for 24 to 48 hours beforehand. One quiet night before labs can save you a stressful follow up call. But even if you nail a prep step, there's another mistake that happens before the needle ever goes into your arm: what you forget to ask for. Number five is less about how you prep and more about what you ask for. And it may be one of the most important mistakes women over 40 make: walking in and settling for only a basic panel. A basic panel can be helpful, but it doesn't always explain why a woman feels exhausted, inflamed, foggy, cold, anxious, puffy, or like her body is working against her. Because basic labs often check the obvious, but they may miss the deeper pattern. Ferritin, which affects your iron storage, can be low or borderline and still leave you feeling wiped out, cold, short of breath with activity, or losing hair, especially if you've had heavy cycles, gut issues, or inflammation. Vitamin D and B12 are often skipped, and both can play a role in energy, immune function, mood, and nervous system support. Fasting insulin can sometimes show blood sugar stress. There's still a way to skew even the simple ones just by how you handle the morning of a test. If this is hitting home for you, I made something to help you take it further. It's my free autoimmune relief and energy workbook, and it's built to help you connect the dots between your symptoms, your energy, your inflammation, and the patterns your body has been showing you. You can use it to write down what you want to ask for, track what you're feeling, and compare your symptoms with what your labs actually say so that you walk into your next appointment prepared instead of dismissed. The link is in the description below. The sixth mistake comes from trying too hard, white knuckling your fast and skipping water. This is so common. You're told to fast, so you think, okay, I'll be extra strict. No food since dinner. Maybe you stretch it to 16 hours. Maybe you avoid water because you're afraid it will mess something up. Then you have black coffee, because surely that doesn't count. But each of those choices can nudge the picture in the wrong direction. Dehydration can concentrate your blood and may affect kidney markers, electrolytes, and blood counts. Overfasting may affect stress hormones and blood sugar in some people. And black coffee is not always neutral, because caffeine can affect cortisol, heart rate, blood pressure, and sometimes glucose. So keep it boring on purpose. If your provider tells you to fast, follow the exact fasting window you were given. Drink water unless you were specifically told not to. Hold coffee until after your draw if fasting labs are being checked, unless your provider tells you otherwise. And always ask which medications or supplements you should take, hold, or delay that morning, because that answer depends on your situation. Which brings us to the last mistake. And this is one that I personally made for years. Number 7 is taking your thyroid medication right before your thyroid labs without asking whether timing matters. And I get it. You take it every morning like clockwork, and you should. You're trying to be consistent. You're trying to do exactly what you were told. But on lab morning, timing can truly matter. For some thyroid medications, especially levothyroxine, free T4 can rise for a period of time after you take your dose. So, if your blood is drawn shortly after taking it, that result may reflect that recent dose instead of your usual steady pattern. And that can be frustrating for the woman who still feels undersupported but keeps being told your lab numbers look great. Now, this does not mean you should stop or change your medication on your own. Please don't do that. It means before your thyroid labs, ask your provider one very specific question. Should I take my thyroid medication before my blood draw, or should I take it right after? And whatever your provider recommends, try to keep that timing consistent each time you take your lab tests. Consistency gives you and your provider a cleaner comparison. And when you're trying to understand thyroid symptoms, that truly matters. So, if you've been walking out of appointments feeling crazy, hear me on this. You're not crazy. You're not failing at being healthy. Sometimes the test conditions shape your story, and no one told you that you had any say in it, but you do. The way you prepare, the timing you choose, the supplements you mention, and the questions you bring can be the difference between one more everything looks normal and the day someone finally sees the pattern you've been feeling. Your symptoms are signals. They deserve a fair read, and so do you. And before you go, please comment below and let me know which one of these you didn't know about, because I have a feeling that number 1 was going to surprise a lot of you. And if this helped you see your own labs a little differently, please like this video and subscribe, and send it to another woman who's been told her blood work is normal, but still knows something is off. Your body is not broken, it's burdened. And when you understand those burdens, you can finally begin supporting your body in the way it's needed all along. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And please take care of yourself, because you deserve to feel better. And remember, we're all in this together. I'll see you in the next one.